Please welcome to the stage director Anthony C. Ferrante, star Judah Friedlander. Judah has to duck out a little early this evening. He's performing at 8 p.m. at the American Comedy Company. He's also there 7:30 and 9:30 tomorrow and Saturday. Go see him. Next we have Vivica A. Fox. And the star of the show, Mr. Ian Ziering. So, guys, this seems like a really fun movie to work on. Vivica, can you tell me a little bit about your character? And,
this film was amazing to work on. We shot it for 20 days in New York City. Sharknado 2 comes and takes a bite out of the apple. I play Sky. I am Ian's chocolate blast from the past. Ben gets a little chocolate. Just saying. But yeah, we went to high school together, and I tried to rekindle the flames, and I get my face cracked, and then a Sharknado happens.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm admiring her. That's the best Sharknado costume.
Oh my God! That's like a Sharknado Tower Pizza something, yeah.
And you were here last year doing this, so she was one of our original fans. She embraced us.
Wow. We're coming back with Sharknado 3.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Empire State Building on top.
I want it in Paris. I want the Eiffel Tower.
All right.
You and me both.
It's going to be in Paris next time.
There we go, we get our international, huh?
Even more of a bigger budget.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, let's face it, it's a very important movie made about this serious issue of climate change and the damages it can do. And the film is about unity and the strength that people come together. They can defeat the sharks.
You know, I never really understood why people were laughing at our movie either, because it is a very important film.
It's a serious film.
It's a love story, really. It's a family movie, it's a love story.
There's so many people that get hung up on, well, sharks can't be in a tornado, and tornadoes can't be on land. It's like, well, cars don't turn into robots, so live with it.
This movie is going to launch in 90 countries within 24 hours. That's something even the major motion picture studios can't do. But through the television medium, through the power of the science fiction fan, you know, we're creating our own bar. It's not like we're raising the bar. We've started a whole new bar. So to be a part of this kind of digital, low-budget experience creating A films is really, it just changes the game. And I'm real proud to be a part of it. We had this one day in S1 where I'm running through a parking lot and Anthony's, okay, I want you to jump and dive and pitch and roll just like there's sharks flying out of the sky. That's all the direction I got. I said, can you tell me the directions? No, roll around you. Ready, action. Right, I'm jumping, I'm pitching and rolling, and
There's coming more, they're biting you, they're biting you.
yeah, like sharks. So you've got to act within this craziness, and you really have to trust, because at the time, that's really an action for me, and I have to trust in the visual effects artist and Anthony that they're going to paint in the sharks that are going to give my actions, make them plausible to create what is at that time an action to turn it into a reaction. And dealing in a low-budget environment, I didn't know these people. I thought I could have been dealing with Sid and Marty Krofft level of animation. And I didn't, you know, it's closer to James Cameron Avatar stuff. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, they got their stuff together. This is a lot better than I thought it would be. And then, one thing that's for sure is that anywhere there's a coastline, there's a possibility of a Sharknado. Because this movie is made so popular by the fans, not just here in the United States, but foreign countries. We need to take the storm there. Asia, Europe, Australia, South America, any of these places that have major towns that we could devastate would really...
The lady on the front row here said Jamaica.
Jamaica?
Yeah, man.
Watch that. Has anyone here ever actually met a shark personally?
No.
Spent time with a shark? Anyone?
You know, I actually did do a shark dive once.
Did you?
It was off the coast of Catalina. And there's sharks out there. There's big sharks out there. I saw a mako shark. We were chumming. I'm in a steel cage, only about 3 feet underwater. It's not like you need to go deep, people. And all of a sudden, this huge dark thing starts swimming at me. I'm like, I think that's a shark. And all I saw were teeth, because it starts like they poke out and then they come in as it bites. It goes like this. It was really kind of scary. I was very grateful for the cage that I was within.
It just sounds like you did a speech from Sharknado 3. Can we just take everything you just said and put it in Sharknado 3? That's the Sharknado way.
Taking notes, you know, it's really cool.
Well, on that note, let's go to Q&A if anybody's got a question.
All right, no running.
No, it was like, yeah. Stop, drop.
And all the way.
All right, you guys.
Next time we encourage bring weapons,
Okay.
the man with the biggest chainsaw gets the first question.
But I think to stay true to what we've created, I think it has to stay a TV movie.
Keep it special.
It has global appeal. I mean, how really, what's going to make it bigger?
Sharknado the musical.
We're on it.
I got a shark right here. His name is Paul Revere.
Go, 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 go. Run away from that Sharknado. It's your greatest go. Don't want to get eaten by a Sharknado.
So I think we're going to stay on TV.
Next questioner, try to top that.
Hi, I'm Kristen. First off, I just want to say Sharknado was arguably the best movie of 2013.
Anyone wants to argue that here?
I mean, where was his Oscar nomination? I mean, let's be honest. My question is, if or when a Sharknado happens in real life, do you guys think you'd survive? And what's your weapon of choice and why?
Haven't you seen Sharknado? What weapon would you choose? I mean, clearly it's got to be a chainsaw. If you're going to do hand-to-fin combat with a shark, you better have a chainsaw.
For me, it will be a samurai sword. I'm good with blades.
For me, it's standing as close to Ian as possible. And not veer too far, because if I veer too far, I'll be a red shirt and I'll be dead immediately. Actually, that shot, that iconographic shot where he goes into the shark, we didn't have a correct plate shot for the movie. Every time we tried putting a background behind it, which is, you know, you have the green screen and you needed a background. And so the visual effects guys go, we don't have anything. So I walked around, I would call this the last day of shooting. I walked around Burbank with my iPhone and I shot buildings. And I went back, took it to the VFX guys, like, okay, this won't work. So the most iconographic movie at the moment of the movie is, the background plate is shot on an iPhone. This one right here. So you make it happen with whatever you can. Who would have figured? Hello.
I was just, okay, so like, you have storm movies and you have shark movies. How did you like think of combining them? Like that's just such a random thing.
Thunder, were you drunk when that happened? How did that happen?
The original inception is I've written a lot of movies for Syfy, and a friend of mine had written a bunch of scripts with Jacob Hare. You know, we were coming up with pitches for them, and you'd come up with like a few ideas and a couple one-liners, and one of the title, I think at the same time we came up with Sharknado, we came up with a title called Lava Birds, about birds that shoot lava or volcanoes. We just thought they were the most ridiculous ideas imaginable, and we loved the title so much, and so it didn't get get past through, but then I wrote a Leprechaun movie for Syfy called Leprechaun's Revenge. And so I put a reference to a Sharknado in it where they were trying to cover up the Leprechaun thing, and they're going, we don't want to have what happened in that town over. Remember Sharknado? They never lived that down. And then Chris Regina over at Syfy and the development department goes, we have to make this movie. I just did a film for Asylum called Hansel and Gretel, and it kind of all came together that we were making Sharknado. So, and then I wrote this really ridiculous, crazy, big, ambitious script. So it was just coming up with the most ridiculous title, and it just kind of worked. And it always tickled our fancy. And actually, I'll go back to the story of Ian and Taryn and the rest of the cast of the first movie with their pitchforks coming after me. We shot the first movie under the title Dark Skies because no one wanted to be in a movie called Sharknado.
I haven't even read the script.
They're in the script, but
Dark Skies. All right, I'll read this. Dark Skies.
Exactly, you did it.
Pretty ridiculous. I don't think so. My wife says, honey, you need to go to work. Okay. No one's going to see this. No one's going to see this anyway. What the heck?
And then so we're on set. It's the third day of shooting, and we're in the hardware store, and there's the back room before they came out, and suddenly someone got to the window that was going to be called Sharknado, and literally they were fuming. They're going, "You gotta call this Sharknado. Call it Great White Skies. Do this." And I'm like, I go, just if it's called Sharknado, just trust me. It will be a good thing. I trust it. And was I right? You were right. You were pissed. I know you. It was like me. I was the monster.
I said, oh, what's the matter? Great White Skies isn't available? Wouldn't that have worked?
Yeah. But it would have worked, but Sharknado, look at what we got here because of Sharknado.
I know. I didn't think 90210 would go past the pilot either, so what did
I was kind of curious, I'm such a huge fan of all the Asylum films, why was it Sharknado that took off when not any of the other ones?
Because Frogpocalypse Now wasn't available.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Dina.
Hi.
And you mentioned during the panel alien invasion, possibly for a sequel, like far in the future, but what if in that movie the Sharknado was the hero?
I like the way you think. That's going to put me out of a job, though, so sit down.
You create the Sharknado this time.
Well, you know, sometimes sharks
Shaking down Mother Nature. Thunder, can you work on that? Can you? Yeah. It's already done. Oh, you're in cahoots.
So it's obvious that the sharks are real in that movie, but you brought them in by the tank load. But how did you get those tornadoes?
we wrangled them up.
We know people in high places.
Next question.
Okay, I know you don't really, you've explained several times in the panel, you don't really care about the science and the believability, but as a nerd, I need to know, how many sharks are there in the average nado?
Well, this is great. I should have asked the VFX guys about this one. But let's just say there's probably at least 300 in each nado.
Final question here to make it a good one, but really you can ask any question you want. That's the best costume I could ever see.
We cannot cut off the cloud.
No.
We cannot. It's a cloud or it's a short. It's a Sharknado. It's a Sharknado. It's a fluffy Sharknado.
Call it a tampon one.
Hey, darling, what's your question?
And when you make the third one, are you going to take any auditions for 5'3" Asian Variant?
I want to thank y'all for coming. We're going to be
Thank you guys.
live.
Yeah, we're going to be live that night, that's for sure.
You can find me at Ian Ziering on Twitter. See some behind-the-scenes photos of everybody. So I look forward to tweet back.
I'm at MS Vivica Fox, and Sharknado 2 comes out on my birthday. So, Anthony, it's his birthday too. So tune in. Sharknado 2, you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for the love.
July 30th.